Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back as we continue our quest to purge the world of greenskins. Let's see if we can get the stuff done. You're doing a wing mace. Nice. Which one's the drunkard? Nah. A few orc ooh, an orc warlord. Yeah, I'm not going near that warlord. Okay, I thought it was just the last time we were here. They were just a few orc warriors. Didn't realise there was a warlord. Lots of wanderers. There's a ton of undead. A few fallen heroes. Don't want to fight those guys. Crypt of Midnight. The problem is there's a lot of orc berserkers there. Some luderworms. Okay. 4 of them? No, thank you. Many orc berserkers. Ooh, what's this? Ancient statue. A golden man the size of a castle sits atop his stone throne with such a august stature. It seems that even he, as inanimate as he is, should rule the land, and perhaps the world would be better for it. This non-speaking entity with such awesome presence would make a fine ruler than the lot of the skunks you constantly run into. The bulk of the statue rests upon an enormous disc made of spiraling square stones. Were their coffins, it would take up 2 bricks to store the sun's kernel whole. Wilbur Rindford tilts his helmet up. If it ain't the biggest thing I've ever seen, I don't know what it is. Tallhelm smirks and makes the reach for the sellsword's crotch. I thought the woman folks said that little worm was the biggest thing they've ever seen. As the company laughs, you step forward and look. You're not much for kneeling, but you feel the urge here. The statue staring out at the world with a firm authority. And its hands are at the sides. Once upon a sword stuck to the earth, and the other serpented as though to weigh justice himself. You nod at the golden scene presented before you. There's not a single scratch of a would-be robber suggesting this austere presence still has more ethereal grip on the world, but there isn't. That wouldn't make much sense. Any smart man would be nicking a fair share from the statue signs alone. A few mercenaries ask if they can stab a collection of some coins for themselves. There's no harm in it. The statue is so huge, perhaps it scared off the lesser scapegraces. By superstition alone, you'll know there's no reason to let a good thing go, like nearly endless pile of gold shaped like something pretty. To hell with the history and artistry, you tell the men to have at it. They leap to the task with the tools available, but the second Carl makes contact, he falls limp and slumps against the statue. Another mercenary goes to help him, brushing the enormous toe there, and collapses atop the sellsword. Just the company begins to panic. 2 mercenaries bolt back to their feet and start screaming about amazing sights beyond the world, sights of the future itself. Invigorated by this, the company gladly runs themselves into the statue, a lot banging against its giant toes, falling backwards like a mimes, unexpectedly finding a very real wall. It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, but each man springs back to the feet, spilling out fantastic stories. You shrug up to the statue yourself, standing before the big toe with its big toenail. The man urges you forward, sighing. You put your hand, touch the toenail. Nothing happens. You fist the gap between the nail and the golden flesh. You angrily put both hands to the toe like it owes you money. Nothing. Well then, looks like the riches to harvest. You draw your sword out. Time to strike gold. You swing the sword, but the second the steel touches gold and scene of the world flashes over you as though you struck the sun itself and draw blood. The sword continues on into the darkness like a star across the night sky, and it cuts a world of its own into reality, as though you've slashed the magician's cloth off his trick, revealing the room with pillared corners and beautiful silk curtains, and the sword continues on until it slams against a spear shaft. You look down to see a man in gilded armour with red eyes holding his guard with a grimace. He slides across the floor to his right and lets the momentum fall to the ground. When he twirls the spear around, he around his back and strikes it forward. You throw your arm wide in close rank with the killer, catching the spear shaft between your armpit and driving this forward to stab him just beneath his pauldron. Driving the sword into the man's heart, the man's red eyes drain to a pure white, and he goes limp, right off the steel. As it clatters to the ground, you quickly go around and getting to the floor stands an enormous bed of corners of marble. Each statue stated as a woman or man, each one adorned with submersively and looking like a rising sun. There's an elderly man in bed who is looking at you, bearded, eyes dim, weathered, familiarity in his stare. He smiles, but it quickly fades. He yells, but you don't understand the words. A shadow slides across the room, and you wheel around to see a large knight with fire in his eyes, bearing down with a two-hander. Parry. You step back and flip your sword crosswise and cross at the knees to brace the impact. The killer's two-handed slams against your sword just like that would snap away and still freeze in the parry, and you could feel the insistence of time and space fly and blue slide like a plough wind, and ungodly amounts of suffering, screaming, living, dying. A far distance, a speck of light, fast approaches until you arrive back into your body and your sword hits the statue and swings backwards so hard it flies out of your hand, sails for the air until stabbing into the earth with an earthen chunk. The man look around one another, you go and fetch your sword. I think you broke it, sir. Tilford gets his hands on with says Turf as he gets handsy with the pinky toe. You tell him and the rest of the men to pack their things. It's time to leave this place. Looking at the statue, you see that it's all rusty and bronze now. You think to ask one of the mercenaries if this had been gold earlier, but you already know the answer to that. Instead, you stare at the head of the statue, at the face, a very familiar face. Let's not dwell on this. So I take it this has something to do with the. This is probably the Emperor from. Because they were making comment about the fallen Emperor and fake Emperor and all that kind of stuff, and that's probably going to be linking with me. Many orc berserkers. Okay, I'm going to run back this way. Get some provisions because we're running low. Don't see any place being taken over by the undead yet. Necromancer, Proliferer of Iron, Bind the Gang as a Fallen. That's going to be really nasty to take out. I'm not going to lie. Missing people. Their food is expensive. Money's not great. We got some stuff to trade. We could trade that, sell the item for worth. Not giving us good money for it. But we have some orc stuff that we can trade just to give us a little bit of spending cash. Right. Righty. What's the job you need me for? Hunt down what's terrorizing the region. Okay. They're going this way. Probably going to be dire wolves. Yeah, dire wolves. We won't catch them, unfortunately. It's annoying. Because they're doing the old merry jig and taking us around a town. If they come at night, it will be a pain. Come on. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Okay, this will be good enough. Okay. The Berserker one has to die. Right. Oh dear. Okay, let's start this Syndig then. There we go. Get him a neck. Get that one. Excellent. So we got some stuff. They're all dead. Race back to town. Tool situation is going to be bad, yeah. The thing is, I want to go and do the orc stuff, but loads of berserkers is not great. I can sell that for a bit more money. Tool situation is bad, I'm not going to lie. Just a faction job. Retrieve the artifact. Yeah, it's going to be a nasty fight. Okay. I've got to go out this way again. Yeah, can't take care of that. This is a big bandit encampment group. Ah, there we go. See, ancient priests, a few ancient honor guards, legionnaires. So an absolute horrific thing. Just great. Yeah, that's still got an old warlord in it. Oh boy. Orcus work. Be on our guard. Yeah. Right. I need tools before anything else. What's this? Not interested. Okay. There's that. Just trying to clear out some space in my inventory. Okay. Right, defense and range, but damage to melee, which would be really good for him. So he's going to have that. Right, we've got to also repair this. There's no work. The problem is I have to take out one of these two places. Brigands, 20 strong force, few brigands, few poachers, a plethora. Yeah, why not? Gives our guys training experience, and that's something we really need for them. But it's the undead uprising, isn't it? Every time we kill one of them, they're going to come back as a zombie. Well, they'll keep. They'll keep. I need work. Or at least faction work, if nothing else. Retrieve the artifact to the northeast. Field of Bones. Ooh, that might be interesting. But hey ho, money is money. It's all the way up there. Far northeast. That's not worth it. Well, it's a faction job, isn't it? Which I just take it, and it's in the snow. No. They're cold towards us because we broke a contract. Well, tough McGoverns. And I sort of checked to see where it was. I wouldn't have minded if it was around there, but I hate fighting in the snow because it gives you such massive stat penalties and everything. Right. Get some tools just because it's slightly cheaper than anywhere else. Right. Not interested. Okay, destroy the plunderer's base southeast of Urnwell. Where's Urnwell? Oh, there? It's got the warlord in it, hasn't it? Or maybe he'll get taken out. Maybe we'll get lucky, and the reason I'm doing this is that if you take a contract to a known base, they tend to like rejig the population inside the base. So hopefully the warlord will disappear. We'll run over there quickly and have a look to see. Goblin raiders. We've got some ambushes, wolf riders. Yeah, a few warriors, many orc young. So we'll do that. We should be able to take them. The vote's going to require our best troops to do it. So let's see. Him. You're useful, mate, but I need to have him with his warhammer. Sorry, wrong person. With his pole hammer, or warhammer, if you want to call it that. Right. Do we want to give them poison? Save it for more important stuff. We're good to go. Going to put a cut in here, and then we'll go straight into the fight with them next turn. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, you can leave a comment in the comment section. Now I'll get back in contact with you. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Battle Brothers Beast and Exploration DLC, and we shall see you all again next time. Goodbye, folks.